Hi, my name is Sam Thatcher, and today I'll be talking about the Trans-Alaskan Pipeline. So, up until the pipeline was built in 1977, Alaska was a very poor and unstable state. They didn't not have a good economy whatsoever, and it was really partially because Alaska was pretty much one of the last states to join the United States, and as it being the northernmost country not connected to mainland United States, not a lot of people lived there, and there was actually a lot of natives still up there, as it had not been part of the western frontier, so to speak. And Alaska did not have a very good economy, and because of this, they needed something to, boost them. And what that was, for years people knew that Alaska was very rich in oil. And the problem was nobody knew where to dig for this oil. So it started off, people were tasked with finding this so called sweet spot for um, this oil mine, this oil drilling site. And the man that was tasked with doing that his name was Tom Marshall, and he is a petroleum geologist. And he found a spot called Prudhoe Bay. It's in the very northernmost part of Alaska. And he chose the spot because it reminded him of a very successful and lucrative drilling site that he helped discover in Wyoming. So, this place reminded him of that, and he went with his gut and said, this is the place that we should start drilling. And it took a lot of convincing because nobody believed him. He got a lot of criticism, but eventually the governor eventually signed off on it, and the drilling began in 1975. And oil was immediately found in abundance. So Marshall's gut feeling actually ended up paying off. And between 1975 and 1977, these giant pipes were built, and this is the Alaskan Pipeline. It runs from Prudhoe Bay in very northern part of Alaska, cold, icy tundra. And it goes 800 miles all the way to the south end in a place called Valadez Marine Terminal. And it's a completely different climate down there because it's so much farther south. 800 miles, it's a lot, it's far distance. So what this did for the Alaskan economy was actually incredible because it went from people living in poverty, like something that you would never expect a United States citizen to have to live in, to just normal life, like normal American life. They used revenue from the pipeline to build schools, churches, healthcare, roadways, public services, transportation. It really did a lot for them. And personally, Alaskan citizens also get a benefit, not just from the public aspect, but personally, they each, to this day, they each and every one of them get an annual check of $1,000 because that oil revenue is still so high, and it remains that high. Now, in the '80s, when right after the pipeline was built, there was a huge boom in the economy, and there was so much oil going through. And it's been going for so many years. It's however many years old, and in the mid 1990s, people started to discover that oil was starting to steadily decline, and to this day, it's still steadily declining, but it really is still helping the economy, and it's hopefully going to take a long time before it runs out. It actually produces about 2 million barrels of oil a day, which, if you don't know, it's a massive amount. And Alaska uses the oil, they export it, and it really is one of a great construction marvels of our generation, of our time. And to this day, it still really helps their economy, their people, their quality of life has increased. And this is why Tom Marshall was actually hailed as like a local hero. People in other states might not necessarily know who he is, but he still lives in Anchorage, Alaska today, and he was given an award because he's just a hero. He helped improve the livelihood of the Alaskans, and It really just produced a huge boom in the economy, the pipeline did, and it still does to this day.